Now let us do the uses of boron and aluminium and their compounds. Boron is an extensively hard refractory solid. It has a low density and that is why, because of its extreme hardness and refractory nature, it is actually being used in making the bulletproof jackets. In the fiber form, it forms a very solid, very strong, high tensile strength material and refractory material. That is why the boron fibers are used in making bulletproof jackets. Along with this, there is one more important property. The boron, specifically its compounds borax and boric acid, they are used in making heat resistant glasses, the glass wool, and which are actually used not only in the normally we find it in the geysers and other things, but the main use is that they have whatever the glasswares which we use in our chemistry labs or in labs for heating purposes. We call it borosil glasses. That borosil glass is basically nothing which is having borax and boric acids as the major compounds. Along with this, what we find is boron 10, which is one of the isotope of boron, which is very, very stable, is having a unique property of absorbing neutrons. And that is why we use it in the form of a control rods in the nuclear reactors. They actually check the rate of the nuclear reactions. The aluminium, on the other hand, is very light material, very light metal, which is actually having a very high electrical and thermal and electrical conductivity. But because of its very low density, its very light nature, it is actually very easily being actually alloyed with many other metals and is used in making not only the aeroplanes and other parts. Nowadays, it is extensively used in making in the industry as one of the most important industrial metal, and it is used in making household systems like in the construction, for the construction purposes. Like normally we are using nowadays the aluminium doors and windows, which are actually, because of their light nature and their nature, they are actually being used now very, very commonly. Another thing which makes this aluminium very, very useful is that its nature to resistant to corrosion. Actually, it is more reactive than iron, but since it forms a very protective layer of its oxide Al2O3, which sticks to the surface and prevents the further exposure of the aluminium to the atmosphere, what we find is that it becomes very much resistant to the corrosion. That is why we prefer to nowadays use it specifically for construction purposes.